9:19 is your time now. In Grand Rapids, a new documentary series will star the police department in the city. GRPD Chief Eric Winstrom says the film crew won't hold back, and he expects the new show to be honest. Our Micah Cho sat down with him to see what else people can expect. So take a listen.
I think everybody at the police department's excited about it. I started here a little over 3 years ago, and one of the things I saw from an outsider's perspective once I learned about the police department was that it was not seen for what it really was, which is an exceptional police department. I like to say we're the gold standard of policing, but GRPD had a great reputation on the other side of the lake in Chicago when I was out there. But talking to the residents here in the city, some of them just didn't really know what the police department was all about. So I think this is a huge opportunity for us just to have transparency. It's not all perfect, as I've heard from the executive producer say. We have full transparency and full access, so we make mistakes, we employ humans, that's going to happen. But I think when the city sees what their police department's really all about, and get away from all the rumors and reputation of years past, the direction the police department's going, the direction the city is going, I think is really going to be shown in this documentary series, and I'm really excited about it. I think the police department is too.
Now, I know executive producer Gary Sherman said that when we talked to him last week, he said that this is not a puff piece. It shows GRPD, yep, on its good days, maybe on its bad days. What was that, how important was it to, offer them full access to everything they needed?
I think that was a selling point for them, that it is full access, because so from my point of view, I've seen documentary series on other police departments which were very interesting, but it didn't show the police department in a good light because it was showing an accurate light. And I think if we had a sort of a rogue police department or a police department that didn't have a really strong foundation, a constitutional foundation, an exceptional culture, I think maybe a police chief in my position would be hesitant. So I believe that this group heard from me that, no, come on in, see, I want everybody to see what we're doing. And that was surprising to them. I know it's not going to be a puff piece. It's not going to be all positive and everything, but I think when people see the reality of how we do things on a day-to-day basis, it will open a lot of minds and be a positive thing for everybody.
So I know we talked to Amelia Penn's father last week.
Yeah.
What else can people expect to see during this documentary?
Well, and I'll tell you, my goal for this project was, number one, the transparency for the city to see the police department that I see every day from my office and see how things really are. Number two was, I think it'd be helpful for recruiting. As we're growing the size of the police department, I think for potential employees to look and see, this is something I want to be a part. And number three, I think maybe the most important thing is for everyone in the public to see that Grand Rapids isn't ever going to be the place where we become numb to violence, especially against young people. And I lived in the city in Chicago where, a 2-year-old could get shot and it would be off the news the next day, and people were just numb to that sort of violence. And so, whether it's the tragic murder of Amelia and the impact that had on his family, and the city, and the police, the detectives watching it, or the other cases that we talk about, or just on road patrol, to see that Grand Rapids is a very special place. And it's special, one of the reasons it's so special to me is because it's a place where the public and the police department are co-producing safety. It's a very safe city. We want to make it an even safer city, but I think you'll see that in this, that is not, it's not an us against them with policing. We're all in this together.
And does it kind of show the humanity behind police officers as well?
Absolutely. It shows the humanity. My focus in the criminal justice field is on the victims. And one thing and I haven't seen the finished product, but what I'm excited to see is the amount of time that this film group spent with the loved ones of individuals who are victims of violent crime. I think that's something that doesn't always make headlines. It doesn't always get clicks on social media. So the fact that they're really focusing on the victims and the impact that has, I think is very special to me. And I think it's going to be something different than something that you don't necessarily see on certainly procedural TV documentaries.
And just kind of wrapping up, I know that Amelia's father said that the film crew who came in was very respectful to them. You know, they took their time with him, and he felt like they really cared.
Yep.
Is that something that, I know you kind of dealt with crews before.
Yeah.
Is that something that's kind of different with this one, or?
Yeah, I'm not I'm not in the TV business, so I'm not an expert on this, but I'll tell you, I think the secret to this film crew's success, and it's difficult to break into the police culture and because everything was voluntary. If you see a police officer talking on camera to these individuals, it was because they consented to it. To break down those barriers between whether it's police officers, whether it's a victim's family, it took some very special people on the film crew side. And those individuals came in and really treated everyone with respect and understood, really embraced the humanity of this whole thing. And that was the perspective that they had was just the humanity and appreciating human life. And I think you felt that. That's why you got so many police officers to voluntarily agree to talk to these people, and that's why I think you have so many people in the community willing to talk, because it was a very special film crew.
Would you do a season 2 if they asked?
I need to see season 1 first. Probably not a question for me, but I love, how often I talk to you, I talk to your colleagues in the media. I love kind of showing off the police department, not bragging about it, not saying that everything's perfect, but just being transparent about it, because I really think that that's something that's lacking. For too long as a profession, we've been in our silo and just thinking that we know how to do things, and we don't want to have to explain things, and we don't have to show you what we're doing. There was a lot of secrecy. And I think that really impacted the level of trust in the community. So any opportunity I have to break down those barriers of trust, I think this is a big one. There's 8 episodes. If they want to give me 8 more episodes to show what we're doing, all the good that's happening, even the mistakes we're making, if I have that opportunity, I'd certainly take it.